Hello, welcome to the Module 4 Factoring Quiz Help video. Right away, let's take a look at the directions at the top. I've highlighted two important details you need to make sure you pay attention to. One, please show all necessary work and calculations. If all you provide is an answer, first of all, you will not get full credit. You need to show at least one step for pretty much every single one of these problems. The second thing is, if you show an answer and it's even a little bit correct and you have, or excuse me, a little bit incorrect and you don't have work to support it, then it's all wrong and you get 0 points. So make sure you show at least one step. So if you get something wrong, you get partial credit. The other part that I highlighted in pink, make sure you indicate what your final answer is. I would put a box around your final answer or circle it, or even some people say final answer and put a little blank line and put their answer there. Whatever you do, just make sure it's clear. All right, number one, factor the expression x squared plus 5x minus 6. So first thing we know is our final answer is going to look something like this. Well, and I do it in red so it's easy to see. We're going to have something in parentheses over here, okay? Now, let's look at what we have. Well, first there's an x squared, and that comes from x times x, right? So I know that's going to be part of my final answer. I have a positive and a negative. The negative next to the 6 means one of my numbers is positive and one of them is negative, because a negative times a positive gives me a negative number. This negative 6, if I look at my possible factors, I've got negative 2 and 3. I've got 2 and negative 3. I've got 1 or negative 1 and 6 and 1 and negative 6. Look at those four possibilities. Which one adds up to give me positive 5? That is your pair, and then that will give you your final answer for number 1. And like I said, put a box around it. Okay, number 2. This you should recognize as difference of two perfect squares. Okay. So I would split this one up and I would split this one up. Again, our answer is going to be in this form, 2 parentheses. There's going to be something here, and then an addition, and something here, and a subtraction. When you're done, put a box around your answer so I can tell which one it is. Make sure you show the work for how you found what goes here. Whatever is in this first part is going to be the same over here. Whatever's in the second part is going to be the same over here. So 9m squared is the perfect square of what times what? What times itself. And then same with 64. That's some number times itself. Okay, number 3. Rewrite the expression as a product of greatest common factor and a polynomial. So right away, there's a big hint. We need a GCF, okay? So what is the GCF? Now, when I look, first thing I focus on is the numbers, okay? Ignore the adding and subtracting for now. What is a common number here, okay? Then look at the variables. There is a couple of them, but only one that is all the way through. And then you've got to find the least amount that can be pulled out of all 3 of them. Okay, that is the greatest common factor that is in variable form. Then I would literally divide out the GCF from all 3 factors. Okay, whatever it is, divide it out. Your GCF goes in front of your final answer when you are done. And again, this is how you show your work. All right, for number 4, Linda was asked to factor the trinomial x squared minus 11x plus 24. Linda wrote the following factors: x minus 6, x minus 4 on her paper. Determine if Linda's answer is correct or incorrect. Actually, let me get my highlighter here. Correct or incorrect. One thing students always forget is to pick one of those. Circle it. I don't care. Or, write the word in your answer. Actually, I don't think you can circle any doctrina. So pick one and write that first. Then explain. Your explanation can be in the form of the work. I would either factor this. So factor this trinomial, this quadratic, or expand this one. Either way, and then compare the two. If you factor the one, it should be the same as this if Linda is correct. If you expand this, it should be the same as the original trinomial if Linda is correct. If not, then she's incorrect, and your explanation can be this does not equal this. If they are the same, then Linda is correct because this equals this. Very simple. Okay, number 5. They are giving you a very huge hint here. Factor the expression 2x squared minus 6x minus 56 completely. This means, first thing, look for a GCF. It also means when you get a final answer, you should make sure that it can't be simplified anymore. Here's what I'm going to tell you. First, you're going to find a GCF. Then when you're done, you're going to have a trinomial. And then that is also going to factor. So when you're done, you'll have whatever the GCF is outside of 2 sets of parentheses for your final answer. And make sure you've got all the work to support it. Divide out your GCF. That number then just goes, or whatever it is, goes along for the ride. And then everything else, when it's done, will fit into 2 sets of parentheses. Okay, number 6, factor the expression 2x squared minus 11x plus 5. This is a factor by grouping problem. Okay, so you need to follow those steps. First thing, you are going to multiply the first number and the last term. Okay, so then you're going to get an answer. And whatever that is, then you got to use that and this to come up with your middle 2 terms. When you're done, that gives you an expanded version of this trinomial. It'll look like this: 2x squared, something here, plus 5. Then, remember, there's a step where you're going to put a line in the middle, factor one side, factor the other, and then you should still end up with 2 binomials in your final answer. Okay, last one. Find the value of heart to complete the factoring of. So we've got b squared minus 8b plus 15. Look, either take each of these values and substitute it in for the heart and expand it, or what I think would be easier, take this and factor it. Okay, you already know what part of it is going to be, b minus 5. Over here, I would just put b because there's a little trick to this one. That's all I'm going to say. And then whatever you get here, and then that should be one of your choices over here. Okay. That's the fastest way to do it. But if you want to check your answer, substitute each one in, each choice, and see which one finally works. All right. That's it for the help video. Good luck, and please do well on the quiz.